All right, ready to ditch the post-grad panic and dive into some serious career advice.
Let's do it.
We're breaking down Lindsey Pollak's Getting from College to Career in this deep dive.
No sugarcoating here, just straight talk and actionable tips. It's like a career boot camp.
I'm so ready. So first things first, Pollak almost went to law school. The career queen herself almost took a totally different path. What's the takeaway there?
Well, I think it shows us, you don't have to have it all figured out right this second. Even someone like Pollak with this amazing career took some detours.
That's actually a huge relief to hear.
It's like permission to explore, right? And speaking of exploration, Pollak is all about action over endless planning.
I'm all for action, but what kind of action are we talking about here?
This
Actually, get specific.
Think of it this way. The more you hesitate, the more those doubts creep in. Whether it's researching careers or sending out applications, just doing something, anything, creates momentum. Pollak tells this story about a student who was totally overwhelmed by finding the perfect internship, so she just started applying to anything that even remotely interested her and ended up landing an incredible opportunity she never even would have considered before.
Wow, so it's like you don't even know what you don't know until you start looking around.
Exactly. And here's another interesting tidbit from Pollak that might surprise you. Embrace the stereotypes.
Wait, what? Embrace them? Even the negative ones? How does that even work?
Okay, so there are those classic perceptions of new grads, both good and, well, let's say less flattering, the good ones. Eager to learn, tech savvy,
Mhm.
not so good, maybe a little entitled, needing constant hand-holding.
Okay, I get it. So how do we use that to our advantage?
You embody the positive ones, show up on time, be eager to learn, work hard, all that good stuff. But here's the twist. By consciously acting opposite to those negative stereotypes, you create this powerful contrast.
Okay, I'm listening. Give me an example.
Imagine you're in a meeting, everyone's complaining about a tedious task. Instead of joining in, you volunteer to take it on. You instantly stand out as someone who's willing to go the extra mile.
So smart. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
It's about exceeding those expectations before they even know what to expect from you.
Exactly. Now, another thing Pollak stresses is the importance of reading the news. And I'm not talking about just scrolling headlines here, like really diving deep.
Okay, full disclosure, I might be guilty of a little doom scrolling every now and then, but how's that going to help me land a job?
Think of it as a secret weapon. Imagine being able to confidently chat about industry trends in an interview, smoothly navigate small talk at networking events. Even just being aware of what's happening in the world of the company you're interviewing with shows that you've done your homework.
Okay, so it's like having a cheat sheet for adulting. I can get behind that.
Exactly. And you never know what hidden job opportunities might be tucked away in an article.
Okay, I'm sold. Wall Street Journal subscription, here I come. Now, while we're on the topic of resources, let's talk about those career services offices.
Oh, you mean those places we might have tried to avoid in college?
Maybe. But Pollak says they can actually help you negotiate a higher starting salary.
Seriously. They have resources that can make a real difference. Resume workshops, mock interviews, even databases of internships and apprenticeships.
Wait, those databases still exist after graduation? I thought that was a while you're a student perk.
Nope. Lots of career services offices help alumni too. It's like having the secret weapon even after you've tossed that graduation cap in the air.
Okay, mental note. Dig out my student ID and find that career services website. This is gold. Now let's talk about something a little less exciting, but just as important. Statistics. Pollak throws out some numbers that are pretty eye-opening.
It's true, but like they say, forewarned is forearmed, right?
Exactly. So hit us with the numbers. What do we need to be prepared for?
Well, for starters, the average job hunt takes about 7 months. That's right, 7 months. So if you don't land your dream job in the first few weeks, don't freak out.
Okay, that's reassuring because I think a lot of us go into the job search expecting instant gratification. I have my degree, hire me.
Right.
Right.
Right. And here's another one. The average person will have over 10 jobs in their lifetime.
Wow, 10. That's a lot of jobs.
So that first job after college, it's just one chapter in a much longer story.
So 10 jobs, huh? It really is a marathon, not a sprint.
It really is. And if you kind of shift your perspective to that longer view, those little bumps early in your career, they become less about setbacks and more about just gaining experience.
It's like those quote-unquote failures are actually just setups for bigger and better things.
Exactly. Each experience, even the ones that don't go exactly as planned, they're all part of the journey.
I love that. So how do we navigate those twists and turns? Pollak talks about asking for help.
She does. It can be tough, though, right? Especially for new grads.
Yeah, like who do you even ask? And what do you even say?
Well, remember those career services folks? And all those contacts you've been nurturing? They're not just names on a list, they're your career allies. Reach out. Ask for advice. See if they'll do an informational interview. Even just ask for an introduction to someone in their field.
Okay, so leverage your network. Makes sense. But how do you even start that conversation?
That's where having a killer elevator pitch comes in handy. Imagine you're in an elevator with your dream employer. You have 30 seconds to make an impression. What do you say?
Ooh, that's a good exercise.
Right. That's your elevator pitch, concise, compelling. It sums up your skills and what you want to do.
Okay, I need to work on that. Now, what about resumes? Are those still a thing?
Absolutely. Your resume is your first impression, and these days, it has to be amazing.
So no more using the same resume for every job.
No way. You need to tailor it. Pollak is big on that, tailoring your resume and cover letter to each specific job. Generic just doesn't cut it.
So no mass applying.
No, if you want to stand out, take the time to research that company, that role. What are they struggling with? What are their values? Then you highlight the skills and experiences on your resume that really speak to those things.
It's like you're speaking their language right off the bat.
Exactly. And speaking of showing genuine interest, Pollak loves informational interviews.
Okay, for those who might not know, what exactly is an informational interview?
It's like a low-pressure coffee date with someone in your field. You're not asking for a job. You're there to learn about their experience, their career path, get some insights.
Networking without the pressure. I like it. So how do you even set those up?
Start with your network. Do you know anyone who works at the company or in the industry you're interested in? Could be a friend, family member, professor, even a friend of a friend. Reach out. Let them know you're interested in learning more about their work and see if they'd be open to a quick chat. And if that doesn't work, LinkedIn is your new best friend.
Okay, so let's say I've got an informational interview, or even better, a real job interview lined up. Any tips for making a good first impression?
Oh, absolutely. Dress for success. Classic advice for a reason. Research the company culture and dress accordingly.
Got it. What else?
Engagement is key. Ask good questions. This shows you're interested and you've been paying attention. And for goodness sake, send a thank you note.
Yes. The power of a thank you note cannot be overstated.
It's so true. In a world of instant everything, a personalized thank you note, it really stands out.
Okay, so we've talked about networking, informational interviews, making a good impression. What about personal branding? How does that fit into all of this?
These days, your online presence is your personal brand.
Okay, so like make sure my LinkedIn profile is up to date. Those questionable Facebook photos from college are set to private.
Exactly. It should be an extension of your resume. Make sure it's professional, highlights your skills and experience, and reflects the image you want employers to see.
Putting your best foot forward.
Exactly. And speaking of putting your best foot forward, don't underestimate the power of a well-crafted cover letter.
Wait, cover letters. Are those still a thing?
More than ever. Think of it as the movie trailer for your resume. It's your chance to tell your story, show your personality, and really explain why you're perfect for that specific company and role.
Ooh, I like that. The movie trailer for your resume.
It's about capturing their attention and making them want to learn more.
So we've covered a lot here. Networking, informational interviews, personal branding. What's the common thread? What ties it all together?
It's about being proactive. You're not just waiting around for opportunities. You're out there creating them, you know?
Okay.
Networking, showing off your skills, really owning your career journey.
I love that, taking ownership. But let's be real, even with the best preparation, job hunting can be rough.
Oh, yeah. It definitely has its ups and downs.
Pollak doesn't sugarcoat that, does she?
Not at all. She actually dedicates a whole section to staying motivated when those rejections start piling up.
Because, let's face it, rejection is part of the process.
It is.
It's like dating, but for jobs.
Oof, yeah. That's a little too real. But you're right. It's going to happen. It's how you handle it that matters.
So how do you handle it? How do you stay positive when it feels like you're constantly getting knocked down?
Well, first of all, and this is easier said than done, but try not to take it personally. Remember, a rejection from a job isn't a reflection on you as a person.
It's just one company, one opportunity.
Exactly. And, you know, sometimes it's just not the right fit. Maybe your skills would be a better match for a different role, or your personality would really thrive in a different company culture.
That's a good point. So instead of dwelling on those rejections, what can we focus on?
Focus on the things you can control. Like, keep polishing that resume, keep expanding your network, keep practicing your interview skills, and don't forget to celebrate those small wins.
Ooh, yes. What does that look like? Celebrating the small wins in the job search.
Did you finally perfect that elevator pitch? Celebrate. Did you land a second interview? Pop the champagne. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is worth celebrating.
I love that. Because it's easy to get so bogged down in the day-to-day of job searching that you forget to acknowledge your own progress.
Exactly. And speaking of acknowledging progress, remember that every interview, even the ones that don't turn into a job, they're all learning experiences.
You get feedback, you figure out what worked, what didn't, you get better for next time.
Exactly. And this is something else that often gets overlooked, but Pollak talks about the importance of self-care. Job hunting is stressful. Make time for things you enjoy, things that help you recharge.
That's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. Go for a run, watch some bad TV, hang out with friends, whatever helps you de-stress.
And remember, you're not alone. There's a whole community of recent grads going through the exact same thing.
That's so important. Feeling connected, reach out to each other, share your experiences, celebrate each other's wins. Sometimes just knowing you're not in it alone makes all the difference.
It really does. Okay, before we wrap things up, I have to ask about something that I know makes a lot of people nervous. Salary negotiation.
It's important, for sure.
Does Pollak encourage new grads to negotiate their salaries?
She does, and for good reason. It can be intimidating, but you have to remember that you have value. So do your research.
Yeah.
What are similar roles paying? What are your skills and experience worth? And then go into that negotiation prepared to advocate for yourself.
What if they say no?
Well, then you have a decision to make. Is it a deal breaker? Or are there other things that might make up for it, like great benefits or a really awesome company culture?
It's about finding the right fit for you.
Exactly. And remember, your career is a journey. It's not a destination. It's totally okay to make adjustments along the way. Try new things, change direction entirely if you need to.
I love that.
What matters most is that you stay curious, you keep learning, you never stop exploring.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one actionable step our listeners can take today to get a little closer to their dream careers?
You know what? Dust off that student ID and reach out to your alma mater's career services office. Seriously, even if you graduated years ago, you never know what resources or connections they might have available. It's a total win-win.
Such a good reminder. Because, like Lindsey Pollak says, action yields rewards. So to our amazing listeners, go out there, make it happen. We are here cheering you on every step of the way.